Hi Queens, welcome back to my channel. I've got another chatty video. This is kind of following on from the uni video I did, so if you haven't seen that, in fact you don't need to watch it because it is quite separate, but just like this is what I did after I dropped out of uni basically. And also the love on that video, I'm actually like so happy about it because I wanted to do that video for ages and I just kept putting it off and I was like, oh, people are gonna hate it, but you all loved it and I'm glad it helped a lot of people. Basically when I dropped out of uni, I knew I was dropping out in the March, and then I ended up employed in a social media job, like a dream job that I had by the October. Essentially that is quite a long time with no job, but I had little social media jobs like in the meantime before that. I got my job against hundreds of people with degrees, with social media experience. I had zero and no qualifications. If you are looking to get a job in social media, I'm going to talk you through exactly how I did it, tips and tricks that you could take from me, and just like my personal advice as well as someone that's worked in social media, things to expect, all of that jazz. But anyway, just as a little background, I got a job as a social media assistant at a beauty company, quite well known on TikTok. I was there for a year, and like I just said, I got the job with no degree, no experience. So as soon as I left uni, I kind of knew that I wanted to get into social media marketing. I didn't really know how it all worked. I started posting on my own TikTok, on my own Instagram, etc. I'd say that is the most important thing. Think about it, if you were going to hire someone to do the social media for you, you just want evidence that they've done it before. It's the same as essentially work experience. Like if you're hiring someone to serve at your restaurant, you're going to want to see that they've done it in another place. It's kind of like the same concept. You can do it yourself without needing to be employed by someone, like, because it's so hard to get experience somewhere when you don't already have experience. So social media is one of them things you can do yourself, so I say really leverage that fact. And it doesn't matter, they're not going to care about how many views you're getting, they're not going to care about how many followers you've got. Bonus if you are getting followers and you are getting good views, because that obviously means your content is working, but I wouldn't say they're going to be looking for that. They're just going to want to see that you can create engaging videos. Basically what the job role is, a social media assistant is usually like just creating the content for them and like managing the socials, the engagement. Definitely 100% post on your own socials. Get like creative with the editing, do videos that you think that they would want to see for if you're looking for a marketing role in beauty, make beauty content, fashion, make fashion content, etc. And just make content about yourself as well, because they're going to want to see you as a person. Think about your social media as your digital CV. You want everything and anything on there that you want them to see, obviously. Not everything and anything. Another thing I did was I documented the process of applying for jobs. So like I would do day one of trying to get my dream job in social media, I think I did. So I did a little series, so if anybody was hiring, they would know that I'm looking for a job and they're not just going to scroll past my page, like just on the off chance that they're going to see my TikTok and think, oh, I like her videos, they also know that I'm looking for a job. So it just works in your favour if you do mention that you are trying to get a job, and I feel like that series got me a lot of views and a lot of attraction, a lot of attention. Other people are going to be in the same boat, but not everybody's going to document it. Put yourself out there is what I'm going to say. Started doing that, posting TikToks, Instagram, getting all creative, doing my editing, just learning little like skills, getting quick at editing and everything like that. When it comes to actually applying for social media jobs, a lot of them do say they want experience, but again, you can not lie, but if you've done your own social media, you do have experience, and they don't usually specify what experience. So I just went straight in. I was like, I've done this for like a year, like not properly, but I've done social media, like I've posted things, etc. Like I think I would be on the same level as someone that's got a year experience. So I just started applying for jobs with a year experience after dropping out of uni. I got so many I got rejected from. You can't let it put you off, because there is going to be people applying with like 5-10 years experience. And so I got to a final round interview for 2 companies. One was Couture Club, which they actually said they needed 3+ years experience, and I still got through to the final round. And then the other one I got through to the last round was Boohoo. Now I actually couldn't believe it at the time, because my dream was like work for PLT or Boohoo, like one of them. And I was 18. I'd got through to the last round of interviews against like people with degrees, people with experience. I was buzzing, but then sadly I did get rejected from both of them, both for different reasons. Boohoo was because, I mean, I went through all the interviews and then he said that I didn't have enough experience, so whether they could have told me that from my first interview, but yeah, that's a story for another time. Couture Club, they were like really impressed with me, and they said that they thought I was so much older. They didn't realise that I was so young, but they did just hire someone with like 6 years experience, and she was like 28. She was like 10 years older than me. You know what, fair enough. It was for like a 30 grand job as well, and it gave me really good experience. Like for both of those interviews I had to do a presentation, and at Couture Club I had to put a presentation on this big board and there was like 10 people sat around a table. Little 18-year-old me was nearly shitting herself. You do have to just fake it till you make it a lot of the time. If you believe in yourself and you know you can do it, then just go for it, because they only know as much as you do. Just teach yourself as much as you can through social media. Yeah, go apply for the jobs. When applying for the jobs, a lot of social media companies ask for creative CVs, so you don't just want to send them some boring black and white A4 sheet with your name, your experience. Just like, they're not gonna care. Like, this is social media, this is a creative job role. If you want, you can make one of them as well, like just in case, but most of the jobs, they want you to be as creative as possible. I would recommend Canva, which is what I made mine on. Make it colourful. I always say make it match the brand you're applying for. So when I was applying to Boohoo, their colours at the time were like pink and yellow, like their logo and everything. So I made my whole CV like pink and yellow. I did the font the same as their Boohoo font. I went on their website and just found out what their like vibe was, because it's just going to look more appealing. So definitely match your CV to the vibe of the brand. So if this means you're going to have to create a new CV for every job, you're just going to have to do that. You don't have to do it fully new, but just change the colours and the fonts and things like that, and it makes a huge difference. With experience, just put on the CV what makes you better at that job role. There's no point really putting about like random serving jobs you've had, random retail jobs, unless you can find something in it that like actually relates to the job role. Put down your own social media, that you've helped other brands do social media, even if you've just like helped a friend that's maybe a PT, you've helped her do a few videos. Like, it's all experience and it all does count. I would message like a few friends with small businesses and I'd be like, please can I do a few posts for your Instagram, please can I manage it for a little bit, like just as in posting for them and letting them know what to do. And then I put every single one of them brands on my CV. Like, my CV was packed with experience from little things I'd done, which was unpaid for a few months. And then on top of a creative CV, you want to make a portfolio. So if the job's going to include you creating content, you creating videos, photography, UGC, make a portfolio, again on Canva. You can search up these tutorials on like YouTube or TikTok. I'll probably make a few YouTube videos on actually like making your creative CV and portfolio if people want to see that. I would literally like go around my room. I didn't have many like products or stuff at the time. I'd find like little beauty products I have, and then I'd make videos around them. I'd be really creative with the fonts, with the editing, with the transitions, with the concepts. I'd add like trending sounds, and then I'd put them all into a portfolio on Canva, and I'd make it look ace. Little phone screen templates with the videos, so it actually looked like they was on a phone. And then obviously when I was applying to Boohoo, I'd put like loads of fashion videos in there. When I applied to my beauty job, I put loads of makeup videos in there, and it really helps like be as creative as you can. Think outside of the box. So my beauty job, by the way, I don't think I said, was Jordana Tisha Cosmetics, brand, big like TikTok brand. When I got to the second interview for that, they sent me some questions, and they was like sort of saying like, why do you think you'd be a good fit for this job, why do you want the job, things like that. And I just had to send them the answers. They didn't tell me how to send the answers or anything, but I thought, I'm going to be creative here. So at the time I was big on making get ready with me videos, so I did get ready with me while I tell you reasons I would be a great fit for this job. And I made the video, and I was using, I think I bought like 2 of their products, something, I didn't have much money at the time, and I used them in the video. And as I was doing my makeup, like I said that, and then I edited it, and they were really impressed with it. And it was so different to what everybody else sent, because they either sent just like, you know, like written form answers to these questions. So that's another example of just be as creative as you can, and also make it personal to you and personal to the brand. The other thing I would say is follow as many people as you can on TikTok, on Instagram, that have job roles that you want. So I used to follow people that were the social media assistant for Colour Wow, social media assistant for Boohoo. Like, I'd follow them all and I'd see exactly what they were doing on their social media, because it definitely is who you know as well as what you know. A lot of people, if they haven't got their job through their degree and qualifications, they've got the job through who they know. When I was like doing my research on like who works at all these brands, I came across the girl that also works at Jordana Tisha, which is Farah, and you probably all see her on TikTok anyway. But I ended up following her, and I messaged her for help with my Boohoo interview. She's just like really savvy with social media. She helped me with the Boohoo one, and I sent her my full like portfolio that I'd created, and I'd like I had a little chat with her. So then when it came to applying for Jordana Tisha, because she already knew me and I already knew her, she had seen how much work I'd put into my Boohoo application, and the reason I got rejected was because of no experience, but they didn't actually want experience. The more people you chat to and the more people you get to know on social media, the more chance you've got at getting a job. Like, it definitely helped me so much. Applying for jobs in social media is so different to just applying for a corporate job or applying for these other jobs. Be big on personality, show them who you are. Like, you're gonna be the face or one of the faces of their brand. They don't want someone that's just boring. Like, show your personality, show them why you're going to attract an audience to this brand, because that's essentially what you're going to be doing. Wear something that reflects that, bring something that reflects that. Just show them who you are and why you're going to be good at the job, basically. Another big tip I would say as well is whatever task they ask you to do for the interview, always do extra, because if everybody's going to be doing that task, you need to stand out one way or another, especially if you don't have a degree or you don't have any experience or qualifications. You need to do everything you can to show them that you're just as good or even better than them people with degrees. Degree isn't everything, especially a degree in marketing. Like, marketing and social media changes every single day. Someone that got a degree in marketing like 3 years ago, that's in the past. Like, that's old news now. Obviously there's things that they've learned there, like concepts and techniques and stuff, that will benefit them highly, but like actual getting with the grip of social media is so fast paced. You just need to be on it like every single day. The other thing brands look for is being able to keep up with trends and just someone that's literally always on social media. I signed up to marketing emails. I've actually forgot what it's called. It's called Pretty Little Marketers, I think. They basically email you with a report every week of like all the new trends on social media, anything that you need to know that week. Let me see if it is called this actually. Oh, we can see it. Okay, that's the page. And then like just any others along the lines of that, and following their Instagram, it just tells you everything you need to know, like any shifts, any changes to TikTok, updates, everything. Always be looking at social media in like a conscious manner. Like, don't just watch something and scroll. Like, if you've seen something and not even watch 3 seconds and scroll, go back. Why did you not watch it, and what would you have to change to then have watched more? And then if you end up watching a full video and you've not even realised, you need to make the conscious effort in your head to think, I've just watched all of that video, what was it that made me watch it? And then you need to implement them techniques, and you need to do that in your own videos and when you get the job at the brand, and put that in your CV. Make a page of this video I didn't watch because of this video I watched because of this, and just find all them techniques and use them to your advantage. Literally have everything in front of you on this phone. Like, everything you need is on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever platform you're going to be doing. Know that platform inside and out. So let's say you've tried everything, like you've done your own social media, you go into these interviews, you've done extra, you've done a creative CV, you've done everything like that, which I was doing, and you're still not getting the job. There is ways that you can get experience without landing a full like social media role, basically. So one way I would say is get a job in maybe like a cafe. Independent cafes or restaurants are going to be the best. They're going to want to promote themselves on social media, whereas if you go into a big chain, they probably don't really have social media that much, or it's not going to make that much of a difference because they already have such a big like reputation and audience. Just try and get yourself a job at, say, like an independent cafe, a little independent shop, anything like that, just as like serving or just on the tills, whatever, and then offer to do their social media for them or to help with their social media. It's most likely you're going to be doing it for free, but it is so worth it. Like, offer to just run it for a bit or create some posts about it. There's so many people I know that do that when they work at a restaurant, and then they also just do a bit of their social media. Show your skills through that, and then that is something that you can add onto your CV. Also, a lot of jobs where you can just go in and do TikTok lives. So I did it for Baselift for a bit, which is a skincare brand. I basically interviewed there and I got rejected from the job. They offered me like a freelance type of thing where I would go in and do a few TikTok lives, and I would also create a bit of content for them, and they'd just pay me like by the day, by the hour, or by the content I created. I can't really remember. But then when I put all that together, that was basically like a social media job that I could then put onto my CV. So there is so many ways that you can get that experience, and I just say keep applying for the jobs, because I was ready to give up just before I got my job. Like, I honestly think I got rejected from like 30 plus jobs, and I was like, there's literally no hope. I was getting really sad and just rethinking it, and then I thought, do you know what, I'm gonna apply for this one last job, and that was the job I got. The next job you apply to could be the one you get. So don't stop. Once you do get a job in social media, you're just constantly learning anyway. Ask so many questions, learn off other people there, get as much experience as you can for your next role. I think the hardest part is getting the first one. Like, once you're in the industry, different brands will see you and different brands will want you. Like, now I get emails all the time from like really well-known brands asking me if I want to work for them and do their social media, but I'm now self-employed. I do my own social media, so I obviously say no, but it's just crazy how full circle it is. Like 2 years ago I was begging for brands to hire me, and now brands are begging to have me. So you just have to keep going, you have to keep posting the content. I don't think of any other tips or advice or anything I used, but I'm open to any questions in the comments. I'll reply to them all. I'll probably do a video in the future of like how to create a CV, how to do a portfolio. I'm looking at getting an iPad really soon, so I'll probably do it on that and create a full video if anyone wants to see that. Make sure you subscribe for more videos. My username on everything is EllieCraven0. It's my Instagram, my TikTok. I post a lot more over on there. Love you all, thanks for watching. See you next week.